The mushrooms in Mario games are based on the real-life psychedelic mushroom Amanita muscaria. Once ingested, this mushroom will really make people feel larger. Pretty good for a kid's game, right? Welcome to Professionally Casual Gamers, the podcast where two friends kick back after a long work week and casually talk about everything gaming. I'm your host, Alex, joined by my co-host and member of the 1%, Ralph. How you doing, man?
I'm feeling
How you doing
great.
sitting high up there?
I feel attacked. I'm the part of the 1%.
Okay, so this is in response to people that like have the PS5, I guess. So
I'm no stretch of the imagination part of the 1%. I do have a PS5, but not part of the 1%. Oh, that's good.
how you doing, man? How you doing on this Saturday night that we're recording on?
I'm feeling pretty great. At this point, there's way too much stuff to play. As Alex said, I have my PS5.
Part of the 1%.
Yeah, I hate you. I have the PS5. There's tons of games that I want to check out there. And I'm sure I'll talk about it during the podcast. And I actually ended up trading up my PS4 because I didn't need it anymore because PS5 is backwards compatible. And with that money, I was actually able to get an Oculus Quest 2. So there's a bunch of video game platforms that are trying to attract me to spend my time on them. So really excited, really happy, just a little bit busier right now. So how are you?
I hear that. It was great, a listener. So yesterday, I just randomly get a call from Ralph. I want to say it was around like 3 p.m. or something. He took the day off. I was working, so I'm like,
why you gotta shout me out like that?
And he's like, Alex, I'm going on a shopping spree. I'm like, what? Because he sold his PS4 and like all the games, the software with it. So yeah, I got an Oculus with it, and he was live on Facebook earlier playing. It was like a boxing game, which I'm sure we'll get to in the games we're playing. But yeah, it looked pretty cool. Happy for you.
Yeah, what have you about to? How are you? How's life?
I'm good. So Illinois is doing a lot worse than me. We're kind of in lockdown right now, so it's a Saturday night, and I can't really go anywhere else to drink, so I'm enjoying a nice whiskey on the rocks.
You know what's exciting with this podcast is that when we're old, we can go back to these episodes and kind of see it's a little time capsule of our lives.
That's a good point.
It's going to be a really fun thing. Like when we're like 50 and we're just hanging out, I don't know, playing golf.
We'll still be friends,
or whatever.
Too. Still be fun.
We're just playing golf virtually. I don't know. Whatever's happening.
No, I don't even think I would play golf virtually.
But then we'll come back and be like, yeah, lockdown. That was a thing, right?
Yeah.
Great times.
Yeah, 2020 is going to be such a wild year to reminisce and look back on.
Yeah, no. It's gonna be a good time.
Anyways, today we're kicking off episode 11. We love our palindromes here. As always, thank you to everyone who listens to our podcast each week. We always appreciate it. And if you're tuning in for the very first time, welcome. But before we go into some of the industry news that happened this week, let's talk about what games we've been playing. Ralph, start us off.
Oh, there's a lot. I'm very excited. So right now, I am trying to finish Watch Dogs Legion. That's kind of old news. Let's not talk about that. PS5, let's go.
Well, so are you almost done with it? How long is the game?
I think I looked it up on how long to beat. And this is going to segue into PS5, how long to beat. And it said 16 hours. I think I did look up the chapters that I need to do. I think I have one more section of chapters and then a final section of chapters. So I would say maybe 2 or 3 more hours, hopefully. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to drop that. I do have some funny stories about that. But let's not dwell on Watch Dogs Legion. I'm sure a lot of the listeners are more interested in the other games I'm playing. Right now, obviously, I have my PS5. In love with Astrobot Playroom, which is the pack-in game that comes with the PS5. If people are not familiar with that game, it's this kind of little kitschy platformer. It has this mascot, which is Astrobot, which has become more popular in recent years. It's this kind of PlayStation-looking tiny chibi robot.
He was in a VR game, right?
Yes. Okay. Astrobot was in a VR game. I actually have that too. Probably one of my favorite VR games.
Nice.
And the same people that made that VR game also made this pack-in game. The gist of it is that Astrobot, you're playing a platformer. You're inside the PlayStation 5. And so you go into different worlds, like the cooling system, the memory, the graphics world. And in there, you're collecting coins, jumping around. But the cool thing about it is that this game is a full showcase of the DualSense controller.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was talking to Alex about this when he initially asked me about my thoughts on the PS5. I thought I was going to be excited about the load times. I thought I was going to be excited about the cool graphics, RTX. No, the thing that's getting me excited is the DualSense controller. I thought it was just some marketing speak when they were talking about the DualSense controller, haptic feedback, the triggers, right? And it is a game changer. I think the DualSense controller is the coolest thing about the PlayStation 5. And Astrobot Playground is the best showcase on what that is. So just a little bit of a concept for some people that may not have a PS5 and haven't tried out the DualSense controller. The haptic feedback, let's say you're walking on grass. It'll feel like you're I don't say feel like because you're not actually walking on grass, but the controller will vibrate in a way where it's trying to mimic that you're walking on grass. Once you get off on grass, and let's say you're walking on a metal floor, it'll feel like you're walking on metal floor. So instead of grass, which is like a little muddy vibration feeling, and it feels like it's shuffling, when you're on the metal floor, it'll feel like ding, 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 ding. And like it'll feel like you're walking on it. It's cool. It's really fascinating. And the triggers are amazing. I think the triggers are super cool compared to...
There's a lot of hype about the triggers.
Yes. So compared to previous controllers, the triggers have some form of resistance. So it'll actually get harder if, let's say you're pulling a bow. So as you're pulling closer to the bow, they're going to increase tension on the bow, and it's much harder to press in, and it adds a sort of fun and immersion to the game that I don't think I've felt in a while. And one thing that I wanted to bring up is that PlayStation really hit it out of the park for the DualSense controller, because one thing that I kept on thinking about when I was playing Astrobot and playing with the DualSense controller is that Nintendo should be ashamed. That's what kept on circulating in my head, right? Because so with the Nintendo Switch, when it first came out, they were so adamant about their haptic feedback and their Joy-Cons. Yeah. Like there was videos of, like you can feel balls in the Joy-Con, or you can feel ice cubes. No, but you can feel like ice cubes jiggling around in the Joy-Con. And so I believe there are only two games that implemented the haptic feedback, which was 1-2 Switch, which was one of the launch games, and Mario Party, I believe. And it's one of those things where PlayStation went all in on the haptic feedback. The games that I played so far that have haptic feedback is Miles Morales, which is one of the other launch games, Astro's Playroom, which is a pack-in game, which is amazing, phenomenal game. And I've also played Bugsnax. It has that.
Oh, you played it, okay.
Right. And then what was the one other thing that I'm blanking right now, but they also include it in other third-party games that I haven't played yet, that I've heard that it's implemented in the 2K games. It's implemented in old games like God of War and Last of Us 2. So
I'm excited for those.
The fact that PlayStation is all in on this haptic feedback, the resisting triggers, implementing it into their games is really promising, because for a company like Nintendo that was really pushing this Joy-Con and this sense of fun, them implementing it in 2 games across 3 years is really embarrassing. That's really embarrassing.
Probably other games that do it.
Maybe
they're just not as notable.
Right. So
I would hope there's more. I hope so,
but it's just one of those things where even when I was playing 1-2 Switch, or even when I was playing Mario Party, it didn't feel cool. Like, yes, it felt like a gimmick. But here it really feels like it elevates the experience of the game. I can't explain it in any better terms, but once people get their hands on the DualSense, I think it's really going to change people's lives.
You just need to experience it for yourself.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for you to check it out, because you're going to call me and you're going to be like, yo, Ralph, Astrobot Playroom, Game of the Year.
No. Okay. You called me that and said that. I think you made like a Facebook status too, like hot take. Astrobot should be in talks for Game of the Year.
I've spoken to people that have gotten their PS5s and other people that are kind of in that community of just playing video games. They're saying the similar things. So I'm very excited for you to check it out and see. I personally don't think it will win Game of the Year, but I think it is doing something special and something different.
Yeah, worth a nominee.
Right. Yeah. So one thing that's super special about Astrobot is that I think, here's the weird thing, it's a hot take again. Mm-hmm. I think it's elevating Sony, right, full of hot takes. I think it's elevating Sony into the echelons of Nintendo. So as you know, like over the years, people are super big on Nintendo. Nintendo fans ride or die, right? Your Marios, your things like that. But just the vibe of Astrobot really feels like Nintendo, but in a Sony spin. So I'm very excited for you to check out Astrobot because I think Nintendo's really coming into their identity. They have some really strong first-party games that people really love. And Astrobot itself is just so fun. It's not like too serious, but it is just a pure delight. So I'm very excited for you to check it out.
Fun video game to sit back and play. That's cool.
The other thing that I checked out on PS5 is Miles Morales. Beautiful. Stunning game. Yeah. I don't know how they do it, but literally when I was playing, I'm like, I can see all of the little textures into this suit. I don't it's super cool. Yeah, it's a really cool thing. The hair looks phenomenal in Miles Morales. I don't know what they do. It's a beautiful game, feels really good. It's fast. When they say that the SSD is super fast, it literally downloads immediately. I'm
so excited for that.
There's no time, there's no downtime. Feels really smooth. I'm actually not playing the ray tracing version because there's two different versions. There's fidelity and I believe it's performance. Performance is 4K, which is really great, right? It's performance mode is now 4K 60. 4K. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. Performance mode is 4K 60 frames, and then fidelity mode is 4K with ray tracing.
So maybe like 60 FPS at its highest.
Yeah. So ray tracing for fidelity is just 4K, and then ray tracing, and then it's at 30 frames. So
that makes sense.
Ray tracing is from my experience in the last couple of months with my PC, ray tracing is really demanding. So when you said in the last episode, I'm so excited to get 60 4K ray tracing on my PS5, I'm like, I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah. But performance mode is silky smooth, very exciting. Here's the thing, it could actually happen moving forward. Remember, Miles Morales is an open world game. So it's really demanding. They need to load in the game. You need to be able to see everything. So I would assume that if you have a first-person shooter or a third-person action game that doesn't need to load in too many demanding assets, I think they might be able to hit 60 4K with ray tracing. So hopefully that's the case moving forward.
It definitely will happen this generation. Just a matter of when, I think, which is exciting.
And I feel like I don't want to ramble too much, but I did also pick up an Oculus Quest. I had VR before, my PSVR. Right now it's not implemented on PS5 because I don't have the attachment. I actually put away my PSVR because I can't use it right now. So
probably freed up a lot of space in your entertainment center.
No, it's still up, but the what do you call it? That stupid box, I forgot what it's called. It's like that extra power for the PSVR. There's this box, and the wires. I cleaned that up, so all of those are put away. Only the headset is out, and then I actually switched that out with an Oculus Quest. So there's a bunch of games that I actually picked up on Oculus Quest that I had on PSVR. Fit VR is one of it. It got rebranded on Quest. On PSVR, it's called Box VR. So it only had boxing, but on Oculus Quest, it has dancing and boxing. So checking that out, picked up.
So that's what you were playing earlier?
Yes.
The boxing one, yeah.
I played it before, so I'm very familiar with it. Lots of squats.
Dude, it looked like a lot of fun. It looked like a solid workout. Good for cardio.
Honestly, if you don't mind, if you can't wait for a PSVR 2, I think Quest 2 is a really good purchase. Completely.
I was looking at it. It was like $300, right?
I got mine for $4. The 300 memory. Yeah, so the 300 only comes with 64 gigs. People are totally fine with that, and then the $400 one comes with 289.
Oh wow.
So
That's way more.
Yeah, so I opted in for that because I honestly don't like the idea of like deleting, downloading games to make room.
That's just way more bang for your buck too. I would do the same thing.
So honestly, I know that you've been interested in VR before. You've played my PSVR and you knew that it's not a gimmick. I think Oculus Quest is exactly what you're looking for. It's wireless. It's light. The controllers are really good. The screen is phenomenal, much better than PSVR, and you don't need to wear headphones. So it's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Right,
yeah, the fun thing about VR is I think that's like those games immersed in that system. They're good for like anyone to play.
Right.
They're very inclusive.
Yeah.
So if you bring it to like family parties, maybe not
this year
COVID. Because when the world returns to normalcy, like bring it to like a Thanksgiving, like a Christmas party with your family with people who aren't very in tune to gaming. Like I think they would very much get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, I actually picked up Dance Central too, which is a game that I really enjoyed on Xbox during the Kinect days. So I didn't know that was on VR.
Oh,
so
I remember you playing that.
Yeah, dude, I love Dance Central. So now it's on Oculus Quest. So it's really cool. Really excited for that. I'm tempted to buy Beat Saber again, which is terrible. Because all of my songs that I bought are on PlayStation, but maybe I'll pick it up on the Quest. And then lastly, there's a bunch of free games on Quest that I picked up. I tried VR Chat, dude. It is a surreal
dude. Yeah,
it is a surreal experience. Yeah, no, it's super popular. There are so many people on screen that like my Quest was chugging a little bit. My friend Brendan actually told me that I can hook up my Quest to my PC wirelessly now. So I'm gonna try and figure that out. So the way it works is that it's using like a 5.0 gigahertz like router that you're using. So the PC is talking to the Quest headset and is streaming the game into the headset. So I'm very excited to see what that looks like. He says that it actually looks much better when it's streamed to the headset. So I 100% believe that.
Yep. Can you only do it wirelessly?
No, you can do it wired. But he says that, well, first and foremost, I talked to him yesterday and he told me Oculus Quest, in order to do a wired connection from your Quest to your PC, you need to buy an $80 cord. And I'm like, no, I'm not buying an $80 cord. But with the wireless one, you only need to buy a $20 like app that someone homebrewed and made. And then you can totally use it wirelessly, and it's really great. So I'm excited to check out.
That's wild.
It's another thing. So it's a weird thing. I'm trying to figure out what should I play my PC games? Should I play my PlayStation 5 games? Should I play on Oculus Quest 2? Like it's a really good time to be a gamer right now. So
it is a great first world problem.
Not good for a professional casual though. So
yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. How about you? What are you doing?
Cool. So we've both been playing. I don't know how much Hades you've been playing this week.
A lot.
I played that a decent amount this week, which we'll get into a little bit later. But I've still been chugging along with Persona 4 Golden. I have this week secured a PS5. So
congratulations!
I know. Yeah, I didn't get it.
Part of the 1%.
Yeah, exactly. And oh man, it's. Yeah, what a journey that was, which we'll get into in industry news. But I got that, which means that my timeline for beating Persona 4 has shrunk.
How far are you?
Exponentially. So I beat the 8-bit quest. That boss was super hard.
It's cool though, right? That was a cool
it's really
boss.
Cool. It's like this baby thing, and then it builds like a Gundam around him.
Yeah, it changes. It's super cool.
Yeah, and then he has like a bunch of AoE spells and stuff, and he also gets 2 turns per like time per action. Like he can go twice. Yeah. So that was like the first boss I feel like I had a lot of difficulty with, but we got through him. It was great. And then afterwards, they did like a celebration because again they think that like he's the main enemy behind it. But I looked and I'm like a little more than halfway through the game.
Oh, so you're only halfway through the game?
Like a little more. So there's no way he's actually.
How many party members do you have?
I have everyone but Naoto.
Do you even know who Naoto is? Like, or do you?
Yeah, I've met.
Okay.
That person.
Okay.
Won't reveal gender because I'm pretty sure it's a plot point. But yeah, I know of Naoto, but
see, I didn't know if you knew. I didn't know if you knew Naoto because of the anime or if you knew Naoto in Persona the game.
4 Arena.
Yeah, now it sounds cool.
Yeah.
You haven't played King's Cup. You haven't played King's Aim, right? You haven't played King's Cup yet, right?
No, I remember seeing that in the anime though, so I'm
good.
very excited to see that in the game.
So funny.
Just the chemistry of the characters is just amazing.
Yeah.
So after I beat the 8-bit dungeon, they did a celebration where they all made omelets.
Oh yeah.
And they did like this Iron Cook-Off or Iron Chef thing where they all made one and they were gonna like decide who's the best. And it's just, dude, I love the just the cutscenes and the situations that the main cast of characters get themselves into. Like, because the dungeon situation and like the battle system is outdated for P5, I find myself just rushing through those.
Right.
Not even rushing through them to get more like social link activities, but like it's the most boring part of the game.
It's the worst part of the game. Well, that's what I was trying to say, right? Like, my main concern for you when you went into P4, I was saying P4 is a phenomenal game. The characters are really good, but coming back from P5, it's gonna feel old.
It's rough,
yeah. But the people are so cool, so it's worth it. The characters and like the music and the art.
It's like the actual the 3D models for the characters are obviously outdated because it's like a PS2/PS Vita game. But when they show up on the screen, and you know this because you play the Persona games, or if anyone has played them, you'll know this. When they do speak, they have like an animated portrait show up. Like those are very crisp. Yeah, they may have even been up-resed for the Steam version of the game. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
I just realized what I want for Persona 6.
What do you want?
Adult? No. I want a canon Persona 6 that takes Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5 characters and Fire Emblem Three Houses them.
Oh, man.
And then you'd have 3 campaigns, one with the Persona 3 pro tag, one with the Persona 4 pro tag, one Persona 5 pro tag. Granted, all of them would be going through like the same whatever, and they would intertwine, but you would be able to kind of get to know how those different characters would interact. It's going to be very similar to the Persona Labyrinth games, the Persona Q games. But this would be canon. It would have the Persona gameplay and the Persona art.
So that would be cool.
That would be amazing, right?
Canon,
right?
So like Persona 5, like canonically takes place after all of them.
Correct.
I think it might be like 10 years after Persona 4.
Oh, really? That makes sense.
Yeah,
because
there's something in Persona 5.
Yeah.
Where like there's a poster of Rise and it like has her age. I don't exactly remember, but...
Well, I thought about that too, but Rise looks the same, and Rise's always been an idol, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
That's just anime doing anime things.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I would love that.
I'm enjoying it. I try to zip through the dungeons, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah, so
I think...
I need to beat it. This do you think you're gonna need to like chug through this like super fast then? Yeah,
I know. So my PS5, I live in Chicago, and I do live in an apartment building, but there's not like
a lobby.
There's not a lobby with like a person who like receives the actual packages. So when I got my PS5, I sent it to my parents' house in the suburbs because I just feel like that's a safer option.
You don't trust Chicago folk, Alex?
I obviously trust them less than suburban folk, but like we've had issues in the past where like we've had a package stolen. Right. So with the PS5, I'm not even taking a chance because it's not even that I wouldn't get a refund if it was stolen. It's just like, okay, if they send me a replacement, when is that going to get to me?
Right, for sure.
So,
well, I literally sat on my balcony and just sat there waiting,
just
checking,
waiting for the mail person.
Correct.
For the UPS or FedEx or whatever. Yeah.
And it's funny because Sam's the one that actually saw it come in. I wouldn't have seen it because literally the FedEx person just left it on the front stairs.
Oh, they're 100% supposed to like get a signature or something.
Yeah, so they literally just left it on the front stairs. Sam was like, I'm pretty sure this is a PlayStation. It's just this brown box. And I'm like, I cannot believe this FedEx person just left my PlayStation outside.
That's rough.
I'm glad Sam was walking out as he was dropping it off.
Nice. Yeah, good stuff. It was meant to be. But yeah, so I got back from my trip again. So I'm waiting my full 2 weeks to go back and see my parents / play the PS5.
Oh, you got 2 weeks. You got this. You just got to chug through Persona 4.
Yeah, exactly. So I have 1 full week to get through it. So I think I can do that. Because honestly, if I don't know when I'm going to get back to it.
Just a heads up.
Honest with you.
Just a heads up with Persona 4. I think True Ending is a little bit more obtuse than Persona 5. Because True Ending for Persona 5 was really like obvious of what they wanted you to do, but for Persona 4, if I remember correctly, it was really like weird. So
okay, I'll
so
probably
just be
look
careful
into
with that. Yeah,
because honestly, at this point, I just want to beat it. Yeah, because if I don't beat it and I
You'll
just
never
hop
come
on
back.
PS5, it'll be really tough to like actually go back to it. Yeah, I've been playing some Among Us too. We've had full lobbies. Yeah, full lobbies with friends, 10 people.
I have a question. So Among Us 2, I think I'm not Among Us 2.
Among Us TOO. Yeah.
Among Us is kind of, I think, is in the same vein of Fall Guys. What do you think makes Among Us have higher staying power compared to Fall Guys?
So a lobby of 10, opposed to like I think you can only play with like 3 other people in Fall Guys. And I mean, each game is just it can be drastically different than the last. And I know that's kind of the case in Fall Guys, where like, yes, you'll do your route for everything, but there's always miscellaneous factors, extraneous variables that come in play. But there's just so many more options for chaos, right? In Among Us. Yeah, and it's fun. It's not like I'm playing it every night. I think I played like twice this week for like an hour each interval, so it's not like something I'm craving or going crazy for.
It's more so like a hangout for you.
Yeah, with like nine other buddies, so it's pretty fun. I like streamers are in love with this game. Like a lot of like the offline TV members, like Disguised Toast, Pokemon, like they're all in. Like they've been streaming, Among Us like pretty much like religiously.
Well, it's also like a guaranteed collab too, right? So it's like an easy way to collab with 10 other streamers.
Are you trying to say collab?
Well, excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Why you gotta bring it up, Alex? Why you gotta make me feel lesser, Alex? I am foreign. How dare you? I am an American citizen.
English is not Ralph's first language.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Wow. I can already feel it. This is going to be the snippet. I can already feel it. Okay. On that note, I think because they get to collaborate with 10 other really popular streamers, and it just allows them to hit more fans if they potentially...
It's great marketing for themselves, for sure.
Yeah. It's a good time. Cool.
Sorry, I was taking a drink there.
You'll cover
nothing
that
too
anyway.
crazy. Let's go with... Let's talk about Hades. So, I know, okay, you're going to be upset at me.
You didn't play any Hades.
No. Actually, I play a decent amount, which is the frustrating part about this.
Have you beaten it, have you?
You were like, I need you to beat Hades at least one run through before the episode. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. There's only 4 bosses. Dude, I haven't been able to beat it.
Why? I don't understand. It's not that hard.
I got to shut up.
It really? No, honestly, it's not that hard.
I got to Hades.
Okay, pause.
Okay.
The reason I'm saying it's not that hard is that every run you do, you get more darkness, and so as you get more darkness, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, I have 5 lives.
You have 5 lives.
I mean, including like the one you start with the charm.
Yeah, but then there's like the little tips that I had of healing yourself from the darkness, and then the extra damage, and then increasing the boons.
On my last run, I was playing today. I got to Hades. I had all my lives. Literally,
oh my god,
Hen died, and then I'm fighting Hades. He kills me 4 times, but I'm like, okay, I'm so close to being as the health bar. I kill him. I'm like, yes. And then
there's a second phase.
I don't know if you did tell me, but I definitely did not know that. And then he just gets super angry, and then his health bar goes back to full. I'm like, I'm dead. I got him to like half on his second health bar.
So why are you having the second phase is so much harder too?
I thought the second phase was easier.
He has lasers.
Yeah, but you can hide behind the rocks.
Yeah, and then he has those little guys, like the little arms.
Yeah, see, those he summons so many ads or like so many minions in the first phase.
Well, so the first phase is a little crapshoot. So if you get bad minions, it's kind of much harder. So if you get the crystals, it makes that phase really hard. Or if you get the exploding chariots, so that's not very fun.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
not
but
a fan of those guys.
I'm actually very surprised that you had 5 lives and then you wiped on Hades.
Yeah. I'm using the bow.
The bow is a little hard, honestly. Especially on the Hades fight.
There's some fights where the bow is harder, and then there's some fights like the Hydra boss with the bow is the easiest thing ever. I love it. The bull is fine with the bow. Theseus is a little iffy because he can block in the front, but yeah, I don't know. I'm still gonna play it. Like, I need to beat it at least once.
Right. Well, you need to beat it 9 times. So.
Well, I just need the satisfaction of beating it once.
So, do you like Hades more than when we last spoke about Hades, or?
Oh, I totally do. Yeah. I like it more and more. I think last time we spoke, I didn't even know like why he was trying to leave.
Right.
So I did get the option to go to bed. I haven't gotten it again. I don't know if that's like
I haven't gotten it again either. So
okay.
And I've beaten it 4 times. One thing that I thoroughly enjoy about Hades. So the things about these roguelikes, the ones that I played in the past, is obviously they're usually like, once you've gotten good, you can beat these in 20, 30, 40 minutes, right? So the thing with the roguelikes is that once you beat it, it's more so, oh, like, can I get better? Or like, oh, like, is it a little bit different when I do a different run? And that's fun within itself, but it usually runs out of steam, I don't know, like the 3rd or the 4th time you beat it.
Okay.
The cool thing about Hades is that it unravels more story threads as you beat it. So when you...
Oh, man. So I need to beat it multiple times.
Right. So what do you call it? I'm going to try and avoid spoilers as much as possible for anyone that hasn't beaten Hades yet, because it is a book club game, and for you because you haven't beaten Hades yet. But as you beat... No, that's not a thing. So one thing that you guys may have noticed is that once you die in Hades, the dialogue always changes for everyone.
Yeah.
So, which is awesome, which is super cool. You get to know more people as they do things. Oh, God, how spoilery can I do? Like, I just want to know for you.
I don't know. Just use your best judgment, I guess.
Okay, so
what happens if... Okay, let's assume
I won't
that
do like overall story, but like...
Yeah, so let's assume our listeners are better than me and have at least beat it once.
So once you beat Hades, you get to meet your mama, which is cool.
Persephone,
right?
Persephone,
yeah, it's Persephone.
Yeah.
And you get to meet Persephone, and then you'll find out there's a reason why Zagreus can't stay up there, and so Zagreus comes down, and so he needs to learn more. So you talk to your dad. Your dad doesn't want to tell you anything, so you go back up to talk to Persephone again. Multiple times. I've done it 5 times. I looked it up. I believe you need to beat the game in total 10 to roll credits, so that you get a full understanding of why things are weird, why Hades hates his brothers and sisters, why Nyx pretended to be something, like things like that. There's so much. And what's really cool about this game is that all of the characters that you come across are very interesting and complex, and they have their own like motivations. Aphrodite has different motivations. Zeus has different motivations. What do you call it?
Really?
Yeah. And then certain gods dislike other gods. So like, like Aphrodite hates Poseidon because she thinks he's an idiot. Like, it's one of those weird things. Yeah. But it's really cool. One thing is a little bit spoilery is that when you beat Hades for the first time, the bosses kind of change. Okay. So that's good. Right. Yeah. So the bosses change. So the first boss is Megara. You'll eventually meet her other sisters.
I have, yeah.
Oh, you have? Yeah. So you'll meet the other sisters. Like
Alecto and Tisiphone, I think.
Tisiphone I do not like. She freaks me out. She just says murder.
Oh, yeah. She's definitely creepy, but I hate fighting Alecto.
Alecto's really hard. She's the hardest one.
Yeah, I feel like she is too.
Right. The Hydra fight changes as well. I don't think I've noticed a change in that third fight. I forgot the name. Theseus and the bull. But once you beat Hades, the first time, you get to do these called, it's called like something of punishment, the Pact of Punishment. It's essentially, he puts Zagreus on like not detention, but what do you call it when your kids are bad and then you send them to your room? They're grounded. It's like kind of like a grounded thing,
like a timeout.
Right. So he puts a pact of punishment in front of your room, and then you can choose to make the game harder for you. And one thing that you can do is, I forgot what it's called, but there's a pact of punishment that increases the difficulty, but it changes the bosses. So for instance, the Meg boss, you fight multiple sisters at the same time.
Oh my god. I cannot imagine that.
The Hydra boss is that there's lava, so it's split up into different sections. So it's not just like one battle arena. It's like there's lava, and then they're all across different maps, and then the Hydra's actually in lava. So that makes it tricky.
Interesting.
Theseus and the bull. The bull gets like gold armor, and Theseus gets a machine gun.
Jeez.
Yeah. Hades gets harder, so I'll let you understand that. But
have you done this?
Yes. So I beat that one once. It was very hard. But like I
so
said,
what weapon do you prefer? I know you said you're kind of playing with all of them, but
so the weapon that I prefer, the easiest weapon to do is the shield. Honestly, like that is, I think, the easiest weapon to do. It's the most boring weapon, in my opinion, because you can press triangle to win, and then you can block any damage. So it's really
it blocks
good.
Any damage.
So if you do your charge, any damage so like anything, any damage that gets sent to you, be it a whatever, like a jab or a ranged attack, if you press square, it'll block anything in front of you. So, and
then you could probably get it to deflect too.
Correct. So if you have like Athena's boon that allows deflect, it's really strong. But the shield is the most broken one, in my opinion. It's super easy. No, the shield.
Oh,
the shield's really easy to use.
Yeah, I've been using the the alternate form of the bow.
Is it the one that has the homing missiles?
Yeah, so you hit them with a normal attack, and then it marks them, and then your special just homes on.
Have you played Hades after you got killed when you made it to the surface?
I've gotten to Hades 3 times.
Okay, so you met Demeter,
yeah.
Right?
Demeter.
What do you call it? Demeter is really good with bow, with that thing.
Because it slows.
So, like I said, eventually you'll start understanding the mechanics more. So the way it works is that, so there's 2 things, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because we're definitely at 38 minutes already, and we're still talking about the games we're playing. Yeah. But Hades is such a good game. So just a little bit fun facts for people that are playing Hades. There's ways to kind of work the game, and there's kind of hidden underneath it, and you're supposed to understand that. So if you have one level 1 boon and another level 1 boon from the same god, right? So you say you have a Demeter attack, a Demeter cast, or a Demeter special. Mm-hmm. If you have one of each, then it'll increase your chances of getting a legendary boon from that god. So Demeter's legendary boon, if I remember correctly, is that if any boss or any enemy gets to 10% of their health, they'll die immediately. That includes bosses.
So it's just an execute.
Correct.
Okay.
So the other thing too is that there's other really strong things that are specifically for Demeter that I think is good with weapons that are really fast, like the bow, the machine gun, the fist. Because if you get to 10 stacks, there's an ability with Demeter where if you get to 10 stacks, it'll explode and then do some really strong damage. So adding that with the legendary stuff, that's really cool. That's one thing that you can go with. Okay,
yeah, because I've gotten a few Demeter boons, and I'm like,
they don't seem very really exciting. They don't seem very exciting. Good. Right.
But yeah, what you're saying makes sense if you get it leveled up high enough, or the rarity.
And then there's the other aspect of it is the duo boons, where if you get a boon from one god and another boon from one god, that they kind of mesh well. For example, a dual boon that really is broken that I definitely remember is that I had Aphrodite's summon, which infatuates people around you, and then have Zeus at the same time. It causes the god recharge to be instantaneous, but it only goes up to 1 level, but you can spam it. So literally all the enemies will be infatuated to you all the time. and it's super broken. There's another one with Demeter and Ares, where you have the Rift Dash, which is like spinning blades, and Demeter it makes it slower, but Demeter has a chill effect on it too, so it slows people and they stay in the Rift. There's so many. This game is so good. So what I was trying to say when I first
it's really complex. There's a lot of layers to it.
So when I was talking about it when we first had Hades on 2 episodes ago, I was very positive on it because what I was saying is that this is a perfect game. Not saying that there's no flaws in this game. What I mean by perfect game is that the developers that made the game, they executed what they wanted to do to a T. So they gave you a reason to keep on playing the game. The combat is stunning and amazing. It's really snappy. The characters are really interesting. And there's just so many ways to play it that it's really amazing. And it's just really good. It's definitely something that I'll bring up during Game of the Year.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. With what it tries to do, it certainly knocks out of the park.
Yeah. And it's really hard
Supergiant Games. It's they live up to it. Their reputation. For
I'm really hoping you beat the game at one point because it's really good.
I'm definitely gonna beat it at least once.
Dude, I'm telling you right now. I know it sucks, but give Ares gift. Use his token. For the first run. Yeah. So use his token for the first run and just run shield.
Oh,
and
shield.
Spam triangle. I'm telling you, you'll
just
beat
based
it.
on principle. Although I'm using the bow, so I don't know how much better that is.
Right. You haven't even hit it. You haven't even found the secret weapons, right?
Is that like the bottom tier thing?
Yeah, the bottom 4.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Those are cool.
All right, well, maybe next week. I don't know. Okay, cool. Let's move into some industry news this week, shall we? Mm-hmm. So not a whole lot of crazy stuff. I think just there's been so much build up for this next gen that when it actually happened, everything else was just kind of moot point compared to that. So although there was a very exciting game announcement, Ralph, apparently Mass Effect Legendary Edition was announced, and you really wanted me to bring that up. So here I know nothing about it, so here's the floor. Go for it.
So Alice didn't have it on the initial run of the show, and I was very affected. I'm a huge Mass Effect
he said
fan.
he was going to quit the show, and I sent him like a trolling Persona 5 gif.
It's in my top 5 games. It's one of
it made you cry. It's right? It's in the club.
It's Cry Club, dude.
It's in the club, yeah.
So I'm definitely going to force you to play Mass Effect Legendary Edition when it comes out.
If it's $40, I'll get it.
No, it's going to be $60 or $80. I don't know, whatever it's going to be, but. I just wanted to talk about it. So the reason I think this is really big news is that people have been clamoring for a Legendary Edition, like a remaster for this game with all 3 games and the DLC. And EA was very adamant of not doing that. And so...
Yeah, I was surprised that they didn't come out with like a triple pack for this gen,
EA has
last gen now.
Like I said, the reason this is such big news is that EA previously made a statement that said, we are never going to make a Mass Effect Legendary Trilogy Edition because we don't want to spend time on old games and we want to look forward in the future. Well, eat crow, EA, because you definitely made one, and I'm very excited for it. It comes out in 2021. It comes with every single Mass Effect game along with the DLC. So if people are not familiar with the Mass Effect game, it first initially came out on the Xbox 360 generation. I was a huge Xbox fanboy when I first started out in gaming. But the reason, and I still think it's innovative now, is that this game was innovative because there was a 3-game plan, and the concept of it was that the choices that you made in the first game will follow you to the second game, and then will follow you to the third game. So in theory, your experience would be special. One thing that really floored me about this game is that somewhere in the first game, one of your crewmates die. Right, you have to choose between one of your crewmates and one of them dies. They are not around in the second or the third game, but if you choose the other person, so literally,
what if you jump into like Mass Effect 2?
Then you would choose. So if you jumped into Mass Effect 2, they would ask you, who would you have saved?
Oh,
so at the beginning. So
okay.
Literally, it's one of those things where the developers coded an experience for someone where none of that other person exists, which is really cool.
Okay, yeah, I do really like that. That's interesting.
So yeah, and the story is really phenomenal. The characters are great. I think it's just masterclass in gaming. That's why I ended up loving BioWare, and I'm very excited for it to come up. We don't need to spend too much time on it, but I did want to let people know that we did it. We did it, everyone. We have a legendary.
Yeah, BioWare's definitely got a cult of fans for sure. I think they've kind of been.
They're not doing too hot right now.
Low. Yeah, they're not doing too hot right now. But I know like there's a new Dragon Age.
Yeah,
in the works,
we'll see when that happens. So yeah,
cool, good stuff. I will probably. Actually, I don't know.
I'll quit.
I want to say like I'll check it out
if you don't play the legendary.
Get out of here. I want to, but there's 4 games, right?
3.
Okay, well, so the third one's called Andromeda.
We don't talk about the 4th. We don't talk about.
Okay, Andromeda. So Andromeda doesn't actually exist. Got it.
It's not part of that package. We don't talk about Andromeda.
Okay, 3 games. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? If you buy it physically, maybe like I'll borrow it from you or something.
You're gonna buy it yourself.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, getting on to the real industry news. Both of the Xbox Series X and S and the PS5 launched this past week. And if you were interested in, honestly, even if you weren't interested in getting one at launch, I'm sure like if you're, you have any sort of ear into the industry news, you've heard about the cluster crap to keep it PG that went on with this. So yeah, the experience of securing a next gen console has been nothing less than a roller coaster of emotions. Honestly, a nightmare. And this is coming from me, someone who was able to get one. I'll talk about the factors that made it a mess. So first of all, I think the lack of communication on the part of retailers has been just crazy. And this has been going on since, you secured yours in September, I want to say, right?
That's yeah.
So the first wave.
I secured it. No. So here's a weird thing. The retailers launched their pre-orders a day early. So I don't know if you listeners remember that. So I did not do that.
Yeah, back of the PS5 showcase.
Right.
Back when that happened,
I was waiting for the next day and all the pre-orders were gone. But then I found out that later on in that afternoon, there was a pre-order from Walmart. And I told you, and we both tried to get pre-orders, and mine was stuck in the cart and it was there.
I know, I had the same thing, Sam, but I gave up. I was a quitter.
I had the perseverance to watch TV. Watch TV and refresh that for 2 hours. And then it
was 2 hours?
2 hours, yeah, for 2 hours. And then I was just watching TV. So it was just a chill time. And it was one of those things where I'm like, I'm doing this out of sadness because I'm upset. Like literally. But out of that sadness was joy, pure ecstasy.
Wow.
When it just came through and then I got the email and it was really great. I definitely got it in September. It was really great. And we got one for you. So we're very excited for you to
what's kind of super ironic about this whole lack of communication on all the retailers was Walmart kind of kicked everything off.
Right.
With jumping the gun and not doing things according to plan.
Walmart's like, I don't care.
Exactly. Yeah, they literally tweeted like, no, we're not going to do that. We're actually going to do it right now. So get your butts on the website and crash it, basically.
And then Target and Best Buy was like, I guess if Walmart can do it, we can do it too.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So in this past week, basically like all the major retailers, sans Amazon, I don't know what they were up about. They even like took it off their website. I don't know if it's back on there, but yeah, so Walmart has been like actually crystal clear in terms of communication with when they were going to have pre-orders back up on their website. Maybe
that was a Sony pushback. Like you are not getting any units unless you are very clear on when pre-orders come out.
I honestly have no idea because they're like Newegg did it too, Target, Best Buy, and like there was like no specified times as to when they were going to have it on their website.
Well, and then the other thing too is probably it's a good way for them to figure out server load. Because every time pre-orders come up, like literally those websites crash. And so
within like 1 to 2 minutes.
Right. So then the experience of the normal shopper who just wants to buy batteries, like
rip them.
Correct. Yeah. So I think it also allows the web team for those companies to really prepare. To be like, hey,
I would say that's probably more of a reason than
Sony telling them no.
Because Sony actually didn't have much communication on when they were going to have it up on their website either to purchase. But yeah, so
maybe that was the plan, Alex. Maybe the mass hysteria causes people to Pavlov's dog it, checks now in stock, checks all these updates so that they want a PS5 more and more. Maybe that was the conspiracy that Sony wants to add demand.
I don't know, maybe, but I don't know if it added demand. Like, there was so much demand for the system regardless.
Right.
Anyways, so like Walmart had, I think on launch day, they had 4 different time periods.
They all sold out.
And it was like clearly stated like noon Eastern time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m., 9, etc. So that was super cool to see. So I know like set up time to check that out, but I didn't even get it from Walmart. I ended up getting it from the Sony store because I had that tab open when the Walmart site essentially crashed.
Right.
And then I got one through Sony. So while everyone was on the Walmart website, because they actually had the clear communication, I went on Sony and got it through them.
Alex is doing 4,000 IQ moves,
No, honestly, they should communicate it clearly, but I did profit because of it. So
I wish
what it is, I guess.
I wish when you were ordering, I knew that you were on there, because I might have asked you to pick up a 3D Sense headset for me.
Okay. Yeah, I honestly that was so spur of the moment, because I know what at that
you can't think time, about me when you're trying to figure out how to get your pre-order.
Because at that time when it was like 2 p.m. Central Time, so 3 p.m. Eastern. Right. That was like when I asked you to also go on Walmart.
Oh no, I was there, and I was like, I can't get on. Like, I can't even,
because I full expected to, like, if I am going to get this, is going to be through Walmart. So it was haphazard or spontaneous, but it is what it is. But it certainly added, my benefit or not, it added so much chaos, the lack of communication from all the retailers, this mix. Another thing that I thought was horrible with the pre-orders and also the launch for these systems was the bots. Oh my Lord, the bots or the scripts that people set up to just rapidly purchase these systems, even bypassing the quote unquote CAPTCHAs, like, oh, click all these pictures that have a stop sign or a bicycle. It's been proven that bots can do that now. It's way beyond my pay grade to figure that out, but I have read from multiple sources that doesn't really do the job anymore.
Well, the other thing too is that, so with these bots and scripts, obviously it sucks for our general consumer, than you and me, the person that's trying to buy the PlayStation 5 for their like honor roll student that did really well this year and wanted a PS5.
Or they just want one because they're passionate about the industry. Yeah.
Right. So, but the thing is with those bots and scripts is that I don't know if we would be able to ever move past that, because the only people that are ever going to care about a good experience is Sony. And it kind of shows, right? Because with Sony, the way they did the pre-orders was through the line system, right? You go in, you wait in the line, right? And then you buy it, right? But with these retailers like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, I don't think they personally are going to care, because a sale is a sale, right?
Oh, so, they're making money regardless,
right? Yeah. So then it's too much of a hassle, I think, for them to, not that it's right, I think it's too much of a hassle for them to create a system where they allow a good positive experience during these launches for Windows, these new products. That only happen few and far in between, right? Sure. So like it's only like 5 or 7 years in between. You see this more with like concerts, but that's more so for the artists, because the artists care. So unless the retailers themselves care, I don't think we're gonna ever experience a positive experience for pre-orders ever, because people are terrible, and we'll always see $1,000 to $2,000. Yeah. On eBay.
The newest graphics cards that came out, like the new NVIDIA one. I know the AMD one is coming out like pretty soon too.
Okay, you said this last time. Is it NVIDIA or NVIDIA?
Oh, I'm not sure. I always pronounce it NVIDIA. It might be NVIDIA though.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one.
I don't know.
That graphics card.
Someone's going to call you out one day.
Yeah. Get me back for the collab, but I know the AMD one is coming out super soon, so like I totally expect that'll be sold out everywhere within like the first minute or two. It's terrible. Just there's a special place in hell for people who are scalping these for 4 times the retail value.
Yeah.
But the worst thing, Ralph, is that they actually sell them.
Right.
Like, they're doing it because it works.
Right, because for the actual 1%, for the actual 1%, Alex, that will spend the $2,000 for a PS5 because they don't care
and not look back.
Right.
And that's just wild to me. But I mean, even if I had that sort of money,
Alex, you can always wait. You don't need to buy it at launch.
Honestly, I was like, okay, I'm going to try to get a PS5 at launch, but I'm resigned to get it. Like, I had conceded the fact that I'm going to get it in 2021.
Oh no, in my head I was like, we're going to try and get Alex a PlayStation 5 before the year ends.
Yeah, it's just like whenever I tried, it seemed so futile.
You give up too easy. Think of an anime. Think of an anime, Alex. Yeah. You work hard. You keep on doing it until something works out.
Just when you get pushed to your lowest point, you turn Super Saiyan, and then you suddenly just win the fight. You're
right. Exactly
I needed to become an anime pro tag.
That's what happened to you. You got one.
That's actually true. Maybe I'm an anime pro tag. Okay.
You are.
Today I learned. Yeah. So scalpers are like they're unfortunately like they're winning in all of this. I mean, I guess Sony and the retailers are winning too, but the scalpers are they're making extra paychecks. And honestly, maybe the worst thing about the pre-order launch period for this next gen was COVID-19. Right? Isn't that just like the redundant statement of the year? Like, oh man, this would be so much better without COVID-19.
Here's another hot take. I've had console launches where I lined up, got really excited, hung out with the people, waited for my console. I like the fact that I bought my console online. Honestly, like, it was a very it was certainly more convenient. Yeah, it was a bad experience, but it was a horrible experience. Right. But
you're only able to say it was just bad because you walked out after the first day with one.
First and foremost, you forget that I'm checking now in stock daily for you.
Yeah, I know. I know you helped me out.
Right.
It's definitely more of a...
But you don't feel anxious. You don't feel anxious because you know you're getting
giant weight on my shoulders. Talk of Hades, I felt like Sisyphus just trying to push this boulder up the ramp. I'm like, this is futile. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. I'm super thankful that you tried to help me.
No. And I totally get that. Well, no, because you're totally right. But once I got my thing, I'm just like, yes, I am trying to find you one. But in my head, I'm like, I already have one. Right. So we're just trying to get a buddy.
The stakes are lower.
Right. Yeah. So, but what I'm trying to say about the online thing is that I keep on thinking about when I was younger, and it was kind of a positive and negative experience at the same time. Where, do you remember the Nintendo Wii? Like how launched for the Nintendo
it was
Wii?
2007.
Right. So I really wanted one at launch. I don't know how it was thing, but it was a very positive experience for me because my dad really wanted to get me a Nintendo Wii. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So then he would go to those now in stocks and then do tracking things and did research on how he could get me a Nintendo Wii. It was a positive and negative experience because it made me feel that my dad really cared about me and he really wanted to come through for me, which kind of makes me feel really happy right now just talking about it.
That's super cool.
Right.
Nice.
But the other thing too is that the negative part about it is that we would wake up at 4 a.m.
Oh no.
in the middle of winter in Chicago and stand in the cold for 2 hours. Yeah. And then wait for the Best Buy attendant to come out and say, we only have two in stock. And then literally there's 30 people in line. Yeah. And that happened for 3 weeks. So
that's some serious dedication. Your dad is a champ.
My dad's a boss.
For sure.
Yeah. So, but what I'm trying to say with that is, yes, it's a positive and negative experience at the same time. Is that it's only positive because my dad's really cool, but it's negative because personally, I think it's better when you can buy something online and just not stand in the cold in Chicago for 2 hours and being disappointed. Yes, it's still disappointing to order something online, something doesn't go through, but the convenience of not driving to 3 different Targets and 4 different Best Buys in a morning to try and get a pre-order is really nice.
Okay. That makes sense. I think I agree with that too. This was my first
launch game
shot at getting something, getting a system at launch.
One thing that I do want to note sorry, before we move on, one thing I do want to know, the negative part about ordering launch is shipping. Shipping gave me so much anxiety. Because right. So as Alice was saying, that I got my pre-order in September. I didn't get shipping details until the day before or the day of launch.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like literally, I didn't know any shipping details until the day of launch. So literally, I was talking to Alice. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get PS5 because I haven't gotten any shipping details at all. And so when I woke up the day of launch, I finally get a tracking confirmation from Walmart. And it was one of those weird things where FedEx was shipping it the week before, and I didn't get any shipping notifications from Walmart, and it really made me upset because if I had that information, I would have had a much more positive experience because I wouldn't have been worried whether or not the order was going to go through. Yeah,
I'm pretty thankful I was, one, able to secure one at all. And secondly, it was through direct through Sony.
So you're getting
so I got it Thursday. I secured it Thursday, which was the actual launch day. Then Friday, they sent me tracking information, and it's because I was a PSN member. It's 1 to 2 or PS Plus member. Sorry, it's 1 to 2 day business shipping for free. Yeah, which is amazing.
It's a really good time.
But one thing that Sony is doing that other retailers aren't is you can only buy, like, you need to log in with your PlayStation Network account, and you can only buy one PlayStation 5, which is cool because, like, I would love to see all the other retailers. I mean, obviously they're not going to do this because they just want to sell them, period.
Right.
But if you only buy like one per account, like, that would be awesome.
Honestly,
I mean, I guess you could make more accounts, but this would be like it's something.
It'd be harder though, right? Because you need to log in, and I'm sure you can write a script on it, but honestly, this is going to be super weird, but I would enjoy it better. Like, I would have a better time doing these type of launches if the only retailer that was selling it was Sony. Like, if that was
what do you mean you would?
So if
can you elaborate?
So instead of Walmart, instead of Target, instead of Best Buy or whatever, the only place that you can buy the PlayStation 6, right, in 7-8 years is through Sony. That's what.
And this isn't a normal non-COVID world.
Correct. So it would just be online through Sony, right, for the first 2 weeks of launch. And that was the only way that you can get it at launch. You order it directly through Sony. It would be with your PlayStation account. And then you would go through a queue system, and they would do rolling ones. So you can sign up for a rolling, like, login. So Sony will let you know when you can go in line. And, like, I think that would be a much more positive experience for the people that actually want a console at launch. I'm sure that I don't think it'll ever happen because Sony needs to make sure that they can maintain positive relationships with their vendors. But if it was only directly through Sony for the first 2 weeks of pre-orders, I think I would enjoy that very much.
Oh man, that would be so much cleaner.
Right.
That'd be so much cleaner. Yeah, you're right though. I think that's kind of a pipe dream, but yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah,
who knows though? I don't know. Okay. In other lighthearted news on the Xbox side of things, there's some fun myths that came out about the Xbox Series X that have surfaced this week. First up is several short videos surfacing on the internet, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube, of smoke emerging from a powered-on Series X. It was learned later that people are blowing smoke from a vape into the system. Microsoft clapped back and tweeted, "We can't believe we have to say this, but please do not blow vape smoke into your Xbox Series X."
Right.
I'm just like, I'm dumbfounded that people would like do that. I don't know, because like they're so scarce, and like you have one, so like why are you even like risking anything like this? I mean, you get like 5 seconds of internet fame.
I think they're trying to like spread some fake news there, right? So
yeah,
literally, I think the gist of it when people were picking this up is that they're showing, like, is this like another red ring of death? Is the Series X defective? And it's kind of shit. It's kind of like stupid, right? It's really bad because like
it's just like internet trolls, right?
Right.
And
there's people that have not been lucky enough to get a Series X, and so you endangering the thing that people really want is really lame. So it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, Yeah, it's just classic internet troll. It's like, why are you doing this? Actually, that's a rhetorical question. There's really no reason for you to do this besides to just cause some chaos. But so that is a myth. The Series X is a fantastically engineered system.
Right.
As far as I know, like there aren't any major flaws about it. Besides that, it looks like a mini fridge. But if you're into that, that's a positive. Next one is an Instagram video that showed a floating ping pong ball above the Series X system. The myth was brought to light by others trying to recreate it, but they found that the fan could barely even move a feather, let alone a ping pong ball. So there's some people saying like, if you zoom in, there might be like something holding up the ping pong ball.
That's not as cool.
I don't know. Yeah. It's definitely a bummer that I can't levitate because there are some comments like, oh, make the ball green because then it'll kind of look like the OG Xbox like load-in screen.
That'd be super cool. Yeah,
that would be super cool. They're like, wow, now Microsoft is going to sell like $500 ping pong balls.
Fun fact, so, like, it's going to be like a limited edition.
Series X. That'd be cool. But so I think like IGN tried to do this too, and they did it with a more, I guess, demanding game. It was Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
right?
Over, I think in the original video, it was Forza. So I'm both obviously very graphically impressive, but Assassin's Creed Valhalla just has like a lot more assets on screen. I would assume is just way more intensive on the system. But honestly, like the fact that it can't even move a feather is awesome to hear. Because something like fan noises or like mass amounts of heat generating from your system was a huge issue. I would say like late cycle of like the PS4 and Xbox One X. So the fact that like it's working perfectly, like barely even it's barely even strenuous on these current gen systems is like fantastic to hear.
And it was great because my PC is so loud.
Yeah, the jet engine, right?
Yeah, it's way louder than my PS4, or was my PS4, but it's so loud.
I remember like for Final Fantasy VII Remake, my PS4 Pro was just like having a heart attack. It sounded like.
Yeah. So I'm really excited that the PS5. What I've noticed so far is very quiet, so it's good.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it should. It takes up so much real estate in your entertainment center.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a good time.
It is crazy. So how the Xbox Series X, like on paper, is just a more impressive system, but is smaller.
Right.
And the PS5, obviously, it towers above it. It's slimmer, sure, but it just towers above it. And it really, it's I don't know. Obviously, I'm not on the product development team, so I don't know.
Maybe I can clear this up. I believe the reason the PS5 is so tall is because of the cooling system. So yes, the Xbox Series X has 2 teraflops more, right? And it's technically more powerful, but there's so much more.
They're very comparable. Right? Yeah,
there's so much more to that than just like it has 2 teraflops. Cooling is actually really important, which is something that I've found out ever since I started playing PC. Because what I've realized is that if your PC can't cool your graphics cards or your CPUs to a good amount, it will actually end up throttling your system. So even if you have like a 3080 or a 3070, if you don't have an adequate cooling system for those cards, it actually won't be able to run as well as an older card, actually.
Right.
Because it gets too hot, and so it'll shut down. So that's probably why it's really big. What I've realized when I'm looking at the PS5 is that the fan is huge. Like the vents are huge.
Oh yeah.
So I think that might be why it's a little bit taller. I think it's a cooling system issue.
Yeah, and I would imagine as they kind of hammer down the specifics, there'll be like a half generation step or okay, here's like the next iteration of the PS5. It might be smaller.
I think we should go bigger. Sometimes. You know what I mean? Like
or that
PC tower.
Yeah, the PS5 Pro will literally just become your entertainment center, and everything will rest on top of it.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
But yeah, I was like wondering when I do put in my apartment, like where would I put in my room?
You can put it sideways.
And I don't really.
It looks weird sideways, though.
Yeah, I want a vertical. I think
I have a vertical right now. It looks really nice.
Yeah. So which console design do you prefer? You've seen the Series X, you don't have it, but you've had a mini fridge in college, I'm sure, and you currently own the PS5.
Right.
So I like the Series X design more.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in the minority though.
No, I think you're in the majority, honestly. Okay. I actually rank the PS5 more because they're trying to make a statement, at least
that it's really big.
No, it's more along the lines of like there's so much more you can do with it, right? So
I'm not saying like
consoles, like
console like additions or like details, whatever. I'm saying like the design, the physical, purely physical.
Yeah. Honestly, I like the design of the digital PS5 more. It looks very symmetrical.
Okay.
It looks really
I agree.
nice. I do not like the little like baby bump that it has with
it's a dad bod.
Right.
It's a dad bod.
But, I like it. Granted, I'm also the person that has an Alienware computer, so I know that became a meme where, if you like a PS5 design, you probably like Alienware. I'm like, okay. I get it.
I do see that, yeah.
The thing that I typically like minimalist designs as well. I go back and forth. It's just that like the Xbox One. So no, not Xbox One. Xbox Series. I hate the marketing for
that. We all do.
So bad. The Xbox Series X is just so brutalist designed to me, and I don't like it. I know it's minimalist.
What do you mean by brutalist design?
So what do you call it? Brutalist design is like an architectural term. It's like German, and so typically it's like a box. So the architecture is like a box, and it's concrete, and there's like limited windows, and it's really like
a prison.
Kind of, yeah. So it's like really oppressing. I'm not joking. It's like a real term. So
no, I totally believe you. It's just funny because the Xbox Series X is a prison.
Yeah. So literally, like it's just like a very brutalist design. It's just like a box, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're looking for. It's something that is very subtle and that can live on your entertainment system.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it really depends on the type of person you are. Do you like to show off your toys, or do you not like to show off your toys? Right. So I think I fit in the former. So it's cool. What do you think?
So you prefer the PS5 design?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think when I first saw the PS5 design, I was a little turned off about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many memes about it, like how big it is, how it looks like a router. It looks like Doug Dimmadome from Fairly Odd Parents. It looks like his hat.
That's not Kaiba.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm definitely like, I've gotten around to it. But
honestly, sure, yes, the designs is like a definitely big talking point. But in 3 months, it doesn't matter because does it do the thing? Does it do the thing that you want it to do? If it does the thing you want it to do, you're not really going to care.
Yeah, most importantly, right?
Right, because I did not so I liked the PS5 design, but I did not like the design for the controller. I thought the design for the controller was stupid and it's lame.
Yeah.
But now that I played Astro's Playroom, I'm like, couldn't care less because it's a great controller.
Substance over style.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and there'll be other controller designs, I'm sure, and there will be custom faceplates that apparently only Sony can distribute. So there'll be ways to spice it up however you want. And yeah, I think we're both for that. So moving on to budget gaming now, we've got some deals for you, some Xbox One deals. Recently added to Game Pass's Rainbow Six Siege Deluxe Edition. I'm not sure about PC, but it's definitely on.
It's fine. I have it on.
Console.
I have it on UPlay. So, but I don't know. I don't know if that was going to be on there. But
I know people I've played Rainbow Six. Ooh, which one did I play? It was on the Xbox 360. I don't even know, but it wasn't Siege. I know people have been super favorable about this one. Also, if you don't have Game Pass and just want a game, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot for $31.99.
Terrible game.
It's probably not worth $31.99 at this stage in the game when there's so much other stuff to play. But I did beat it. I did platinum it, and if we have an anime game of the year for Game of the Year talk, that will probably win it, and I'll
Persona 5.
Anyways,
Persona 5.
Okay. Well, yeah. not this episode. We'll talk about PS4 deals. There's still that one that Ralph and I talked about like 2 weeks ago.
It's a good sale.
Yeah, that's still going on for some reason. But also there's a Mega Man sale. And you got Mega Man Legacy Collection for $5.99, and also Mega Man Legacy Collection 2, also Mega Man X Collection 1 and 2. Those 3 are all $9.99 each. Cool. I've never really been into the Mega Man games that much, and to be totally honest with you. In terms of side scrollers, I was on the team of Mario and Sonic, but I know Mega Man's, he's iconic.
Yeah, I used to play Mega Man when I was younger on the PlayStation. That was my
cool.
jam.
Those games are super hard. I've played them. I'm not into them, but yeah, they're super difficult.
Yeah, it's one of those games where if you're a kid and you got time, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I believe that. I believe that. On the Switch, we've got Katamari Damacy for $9.89, and one of my favorites, Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition for $14.99.
Also,
have you
Game Pass.
played? Yeah, also Game Pass. Yeah, for sure. Have you played Katamari Damacy?
I have. Fun fact: my fiance Sam loves Katamari Damacy.
She loves
Yeah, so it's like a real thing.
Like, why though?
It's like one of those childhood games that she had with her best friend Emily, where she would play Katamari Damacy with her, and so like literally, I told her that Katamari Damacy was on the phone. She bought it on the phone. At one point, I think we got it on the PlayStation. It's one of those things where she plays it for like a night and then stops playing. So she does love Katamari Damacy.
But for that one night she's playing it, she's like
pure
pretty
joy.
in love with it.
Pure joy.
That's cool. That's probably worth it then. That's worth $9.89, I would say. That's like a Chipotle lunch. On Steam, Gang Beasts for $9.99. This is it's like a beat 'em up that you could play with 3 or so other people.
Yeah, it has like really bad physics.
It's got the rag doll. Yeah. It seems fun, like a fun little party game. So if you're looking for something like that, if you're kind of over Among Us, may check that out. Also, Ralph's favorite Tekken 7 is on sale for $9.
Is that like
$9.99?
Is that just base?
That is the base. No season passes.
That's a bummer. That's a good deal. So.
I still feel like that's fine. Epic Game Store, the Texorcist is free, and there'll be a couple more stuff added this year, which I'm sure we'll get to in next week's episode. So yeah, lots of good stuff. I hope you guys are still playing Hades, and maybe you've hit your 9 playthroughs or 9 completions. I'm still working on my first. So yeah. Thank you for sticking around for our 11th episode of Professionally Casual Gamers. We had a lot of fun hanging out with each other, and we hope you did too. If you have any discussion topics or questions, send it over on professionallycasualgamers@gmail.com or on our Instagram/Twitter @professionallycasualgamers. As always, see you next week. Stay safe amongst all the craziness and keep it casual.
Yeah, PS5 Master Race.